Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Friday, November 8th, 2024. Another entry in my daily vlog, last one of the week. This is Friday. Each morning, come in and turn on the lights, talk about what I've been doing, what I'm doing next, and how it's going. Trying to make content creation indefinitely sustainable. So let's run through yesterday. My first day back after being out midweek, and I'm really feeling the interruption in the week. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But I did shoot, edit, and schedule the Friday plays for today, which will come out later. We'll talk about. Got that all done. Released it to members already, of course. Also, the first item of several I mentioned coming in the mail, the first one arrived, though I don't yet know, I haven't looked at it yet to know, when and how I can cover it and that sort of thing, but stuff's starting to roll in. Did some cross promotion for the podcast that came out yesterday. You might remember yesterday I was surprised that it was out because I'd missed the day Wednesday, but I edited on Tuesday, had a day out, and then it released on Thursday. So, I just shared it on social and community tabs and stuff like that, just trying to drive a little more traffic to the podcast. And then in the afternoon, excuse me, I prepared for a live stream. So yesterday was the release of the second downloadable content pack, the DLC pack, for the big Atari 50 software bundle. And live stream was at 7 last night. I alluded yesterday that I might do one, and in fact I did. And in fact, man, it went well. So 7 o'clock, I went live, and wasn't even paying attention to how big the audience was. We're getting really good comments and engagement. We're getting a lot of people buying memberships and gifting memberships, which was tremendous. Anyway, and then when I started, as I was about to wind it down, I look up and I'm like, the counter that says how many people are watching concurrently, over 160. I'm like, that's not normal for us. So, looking at that live stream after the fact, so I have a couple of graphics for you. Live streams are measured a little bit differently on YouTube, but you can see it got 3,300 views, which I think are including those who tuned in during and those that watch after. But the bigger stat that I want to show you is the concurrent viewers. We had an average of 143 and a peak of 180 people simultaneously watching me play old Atari games. It's just tremendous. It's the largest live stream we have ever had in terms of volume of just eyeballs on the screen. So it adds another data point that maybe I haven't been doing enough live streams, so maybe we need to do more of those. They're very time consuming and they don't create a lot of revenue, but man, they create a lot of engagement. So I'll throw that into the blender and mix it up, and when possible, maybe do more. But I was very happy with the turnout. And if you were there, thank you for being there. We had a lot of fun, I think. It was a good time. Okay, before I get to today, let's talk about stats. I have my little chart here, and I would like to be always at or above this midpoint, which is 80 subscribers and 13,000 views average over the last 7 days. We're still on a bit of a decline, coming down off of a peak, but still at or above our targets. Just over on views, 13.3 thousand views, and subscribers at 134 average over the last 7 days. Now, as for our current subscriber count, it's another one of those slippery days, because when I last looked, we were so close to another 100, but when we talked yesterday, we were at 65.9 and nearly to 66,000. So this morning, we are at 66,000 and about 3 away from making 66.1. So I'm not going to call it 66.1, even if, the thing up over my shoulder right now says 66.1. At the time I prepared this video, it was not yet that high. So often we'll get 2 or 3 or 4 while I'm shooting this. But at the moment, it's probably 66.1. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a really good day. It was, that makes it like a 120 day or so. Okay, let's talk about today. First thing's done. It's just a matter of monitoring it. That Friday plays that I did yesterday will go live today at 3 o'clock. And I'll be paying close attention to that over the weekend to see how this performs over the course of the weekend. Of course, we have a pretty good run of good performing Friday plays. They might start, I think maybe they're starting to become a thing. I don't want to get too optimistic or bullish about it, but I think maybe they are. People seem to be tuning in for them specifically, so that's great news. Also, during the live stream last night, we had 5 physical copies of the game to give away. So people entered by entering hashtag in the comments. Anyway, I have to go today, as soon as I can, and pick 5 winners, post a note about that so that I can work toward finding those winners, because these are going to be drop shipped from Atari. So I've got to get addresses and names and stuff to Atari. So I expect if I get that posted today, maybe, like, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to pick 5 winners. 3 people are going to respond. 2 are never going to look. And then I'll be stuck trying to pick somebody new, and it's going to drag out. And so I'm going to do my best to try to encourage people to absolutely do that. I drove it home during the live stream. Like, you got to pay attention to the community tab to know if you've won. So I'll pick some winners and do that. Also, we're not recording the podcast today, but tomorrow because of a conflict. So today I'll do the final podcast preparation, write little teases and stuff, and get that ready for recording tomorrow. And then I wish I could. I want to try to find a long form video to get done today to publish tomorrow. I don't have anything obvious. I think if I look around, I can find something and generate something. It's just, here's the thing. So talking about being out Wednesday, it was a real interruption in my week. And I think there's good news, bad news in this. So first of all, having Wednesday off I picked it, but in hindsight, it's the worst day to have off. Monday would be better, Friday would be better, because it's a real workhorse of a day. You know what Tuesday's a podcast, Monday's getting ramped up, Tuesday's the pod edit, you have a half day. Wednesday is like that workhorse where you get real work done, because I have nothing else special scheduled during Wednesdays during the day. But I lost it, right? I lost it. Plus, there was the interruption, and I couldn't help this, the interruption of me having the anxiety leading up to it, which slowed me down Monday and Tuesday. And so I only got out 1 long form video this week. I did 4 last week. So I should cut myself some slack, but in reality, I want to be able to do at least 2 or 3 a week. I just, losing that day plus the velocity, I just didn't get as much done. It's making me feel very unproductive. And I know that's not fair on myself. I know that's not, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm upset because it's hurt the numbers, right? But here's the upside, as I was thinking about this last night, is that I never felt like this about being out in midweek at my, normal job. It was just get back to it and pick up where I can. While I had a sense of ownership of the product I worked on in my old job years ago, which by the way is over 2 years ago now, having a day off didn't make me feel like, I've lost traction. It was more of like, well, it's my time, and I don't see this experiment as my time and work time. It's not these two things, right? So if I'm not able to be productive, I think it shows that I have just a focused, intrinsic ownership feeling of what I'm doing, and it's, for better or for worse, I think it's intertwined with my own sense of self-worth and sense of productivity really impacts that. So I think there are pros and cons to that. I think it forces me to be super committed, which is great, but I don't like that. We've talked many times before how, numbers and productivity and stuff like that, they get to me personally and emotionally because it is so, tied into kind of who I am at this point. So, and plus, I think, they say that the thing about crazy people is they don't know they're crazy, right? So if you think you might be crazy, you're probably not, sort of thing. So I think probably being the fact that I'm self-aware of the fact that it's probably not healthy means that at least I have some perspective on it, even if I'm not able to purely emotionally detach from the work that I is doing good or bad. At least I'm aware of it, so I don't think it's like consumed me or anything. But again, I think it's a pro and a con, right? Yeah. Have you felt like that about anything? It's a very different kind of experience and feeling that I've had from any kind of normal job, and it's the highs are great because I feel like that high is directly, to my heart, and the lows also go directly to my heart. So that's the up and down of it. Okay, hey, it's Friday. Weekend is coming. I'm gonna go ahead and thank you for popping in to check out today's vlog. If you did, you already know that if you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you so much for your tenacity. Have a good Friday and a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to do something good for yourself all 3 days. And I'll talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.